Hey, what's up guys, back again with another video in the Java series. This time I'm going to show you some more string methods.
Why you think they call me ankle bully? That's cause I'm breaking your ankle, boy. Break them and put them all on the floor. My jumper wet as a sprinkler. Nobody's guarding me on this earth. You know it's money like bank alerts. I'm getting high for the temperature. I know your girl want my signature.
Alright guys, so we went over a few methods so far, when working with strings, but let me just go ahead and show you a few more so we can get it pretty much finished, so we can move on to the next thing, which is going to be string buffers and string builders, which are another type of strings. But anyway, so these are going to be some random strings here. They're mostly for modifying strings, but it's good to know all these string methods here. But anyway, so let's get right into it. So the first one is going to be for finding a substring. This is already something we've kind of done so far, but just whatever. So to find a substring, well, let's make a string first, obviously, because we need a string to do the method on. So strings seem magical. Okay, so let's say we want to take out of the string the word seem right here, right? So the first thing we need to know is the index at which we want to start at, right? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I counted that right. There should be 8, so that would be where we start at. So if you want to get a substring, well, you can either just print out the value of the method, of course, or you can just store it in a string. But I'll just print it out. Okay, so anyway, so we'll do string1 or s1 dot substring, pretty simple. And the first parameter it wants you to provide is the begin index. Okay, we just already calculated that, so I'll put 8 right there. So that should start at s. And then the next thing we want is the end index. Okay, and so that will be the index after where you want to stop. Okay, so it won't be 9, 10, 11, it'll be 12 because we want to stop right here at this space, or actually right here, but for some reason it wants us to provide the number after, okay, for the index. Anyway, so let's try running that and see what happens. Okay, so we get seam. So it works, as you can see here. So that means we can get a string or a substring from a string by providing the start index and the index of the where we want to stop at, pretty much after where we want to stop at, right? Pretty simple. But let's say we want to start at here and then just go on for the whole rest of it, right? All we have to do is just not provide a second parameter, and then it's going to go here all the way to the end. Okay, so that should do that. So let's try that out. So yeah, as you can see here, it says seem magical. So that means that if you don't provide a second parameter, it's just going to go ahead and go on for the whole rest of the string, right? Pretty simple stuff, as you can see here. So let's go ahead and add that to our list so we can keep track of what we learned so far. Okay, so the first thing we learned obviously is going to be substring, so we'll add that. And with the substring, it allows you to extract a string from a string, pretty much. Pretty simple stuff. And so that's how you do that. But let's say you want to concatenate a string, okay? Of course you can do that with a plus sign, right? The plus operator. We can add strings. So let me show you. So s2 is equal to death plus life. If I were to do this, I could successfully add these two strings together to create this string here, right? That would work perfectly. But let's say we don't want to do that, right? There's another method we could use to add two strings, okay? So let's say we have death here, which is going to be our first string. And then we have another string here, s3, and we want to add on to s2, so s2.concatenate, and then we can choose inside of here what string we want to add on to the first string that we're calling upon, okay? So if we want to add on life, we could just do life like that, okay? So let's print out the value of what that just did. Also, something pretty cool, if you don't see this on the side here, of course, you probably won't if you haven't done it before, but click on anything inside of, your IDE right now, like one of these methods here, and then do Control Q, and then it's going to pull up the documentation for the method, as you can see here, which is going to tell you exactly what the method is and what it does and how to use it. So it's pretty cool. It even gives you some examples, right? And so this is very useful if you don't know how to use some methods and stuff like that. So I advise you use that in the future, okay? So you can do Control Q, and if you want to move it over here like I had it, you can simply do this little option here, and you could do open as tool window. There we go. So yeah, that's how you do that. So now it's going to appear on the side, and now whenever I click on any method, it's going to show up the method here. It's going to explain the method and all that. Even not just methods, it's going to explain pretty much everything inside the Java language. So that's pretty cool, right? So that's just a pretty cool thing in case you're interested in that. So that's how we add strings, right? That's concatenation. Concatenation. So that's going to do that for us. So we can add that down here to our list. So concat adds two strings together. Okay, pretty simple stuff. And so the next one is going to be replacing characters within the string, okay? So that's pretty cool. We haven't done that yet. So replacing characters. So So that means that we can take, we can provide one character and then have it replace that character with the new character that we provide. So let me show you. So let's make a string here. String s4 is equal to hello. And let's say we want to provide a replacement for the L, right? So we want to replace every L in the string here with the W for some reason, right? We want to make it say hello. So instead of hello, we can do dot replace. That will call upon the replace method. And the first thing that I want you to provide is going to be the old character, okay? So the character that you want to replace, right? So I want to replace the L, right? So I'll put L here. And so now it wants us to replace or provide a new character. So the character that you want to replace it with, right? So I'm going to use W because I want to make it hello instead of hello. So that will do, so basically what that will do is just go through the string and then replace every L with a W. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. But that's what it'll do, right? So let's try testing that out by printing out the value of that operation here. Or method op, I don't know what to call it. But anyway, so it's going to print it out and we get hello now instead of hello, right? Of course, we can replace the H also. So if we replace H with W for some reason, we could do that. So it says hello. And there you go. So that's how you do that. Pretty simple stuff, but it's also pretty cool. So that's the replace method. And the replace method, replace all occurrences of a character with a new character. Okay? Pretty simple stuff. And so the next thing we want to learn is getting rid of extra space. So let's say you have a string, like we'll call it S5 is equal to, let me put a bunch of space here, let me say booty, and then put a bunch of space after, right? For some reason, you know, you might get a string like this in the future, right? If you're working with, you know, some, you know, whatever, you might get a string like this, right? So how do we get rid of the extra space, you know, so we can just process the characters that we actually need, which is booty, right? So if you want to get rid of this, there's a method we can call upon called trim. So it's going to trim the outer space of our string. So that's very useful if you want to do that. So let's try printing that So let's try printing that out and see what happens. It's printing right now, and it says booty, right? And as you can see here, it got rid of all the extra space. So that's pretty cool, right? But there's another method introduced in Java 11, which is pretty awesome. It's pretty much the same thing actually, but it's newer. Basically, if we make another string here, we'll call it string s6 is equal to grape. What this is going to do is also remove the extra space from the string, okay? And so we do s6 dot, instead of trim, it's strip, okay? So it's going to strip the extra space from that string. So let's print that out. And as you can see here, it prints out the string, but without all the extra space, right? So you might be wondering, why would they make a new string method inside of, Java 11 if we already have one called trim, right? Well, the difference is, because over the years, the Unicode table has evolved, the table that tells you the code for every character pretty much in every language pretty much that you can use on a keyboard and stuff like that. Basically like an ASCII table, but way bigger. So basically what I'm trying to say is that over the years it has evolved, so that means that the trim hasn't kept up with the new characters that count as white space, okay? So basically there's not just spaces that count as white space, okay? There's other types of characters that will count as a white space, like tabs and stuff like that. And the trim method will get rid of tabs, don't get me wrong, but there's other characters that it doesn't know to get rid of, okay? But basically what I'm trying to say is that the strip method knows all the different new white spaces that have been introduced into the Unicode table, so it knows how to remove way more things from, white space, basically. So if you're curious about what the different white space characters are, you can click on strip here and then open up the documentation. And as you can see here, it says returns a string whose value is this string, but with all leading and trailing white space removed, right? And white space is highlighted, meaning there's a definition for it, so we can click on it, and it tells us what the definition is for white space. And all these things right here are different white spaces, the different criteria for white spaces, okay? So there's line feed, or horizontal tabs, vertical tabulation, form feed, file separator, all kinds of stuff, right? So this is a more up-to-date version of, spaces, okay? So I just recommend whenever you're trying to strip extra space from your string, maybe you should use the strip method, okay? Because it's just newer and stuff like that, okay? But yeah, if you're curious what the difference was, there it is, okay? So it just has a different definition of, white space, okay? So anyway, that's it for that. But there's two more things that were also introduced in terms of white space. We can do S6, and then we can do leading, or strip leading. So that will only get rid of the leading space, the space in front, right? So that's in case you want to do that. So if we print that out, we can see that grape, it looks the same, but as you can see here, if we highlight here, we get all this extra space back here, right? And with the first one, we couldn't do that because all the space was removed right before and after. But in this case, only the leading space was removed, so we can still highlight all the space back there, okay? And likewise, there's also a method for removing the trailing space, so meaning the space that comes after the string. So that will do that. So if we print that out, we will still have the space in front, as you can see here, but no space back here. We can't highlight anything because there's nothing there. So yeah, that's what that does. Pretty simple stuff, but pretty cool, hopefully. Let's go ahead and add this. So trim, and oops, I can't type. So trim will remove any extra space from the string, okay? And then strip will, oops, trim, but more up to date, okay? And then of course we have the strip trailing and strip trailing and strip leading methods, but I'm not going to add that because it's pretty self-explanatory, okay? So that's how you do that. That's how you get rid of extra space within your strings. But let's say you want to change the case of your strings, right? You want to make them uppercase or lowercase for any reason. Sometimes you might have a reason for doing that. So this would be called case changing. And let's make two strings here. We'll make one lowercase, a simple lowercase string. We'll call it car. And then we'll make another one, which is all uppercase for some reason. And we'll call that one abracadabra. Abracadabra. Yeah, I spelled that right. Awesome. Okay, so let's say I want to make car uppercase for some reason, right? I can actually do that. So S7 dot to uppercase. So that will make every character within the string uppercase, okay? So that's pretty cool. So if we run this, we can see that car is now car in uppercase letters. And likewise, we can do S8, but instead of 2 uppercase, we could do 2 lowercase. Oops. 2. What the heck? 2 lowercase. There we go. So that's going to make every character within my string lowercase. So that will do that. Pretty simple stuff. And so that's how we do those two things. So we can do 2 uppercase. Makes every character uppercase. 2 lowercase. Makes everything lowercase. Okay. Alright, so that's what that will do. And we have one more thing I want to show you. It's called joining strings, okay? And it's pretty much exactly the same thing as concatenation, except that you can choose what you want to separate each string by. So basically we can make a string here. We'll call it S9, because it's our 9th string, of course. And so we can do string, which is going to be the string class, dot join, okay? And with the join method, we can provide a delimiter, and the delimiter is going to be what you want to separate each string by. Normally, if you're a normal human being, you might want to separate it by a simple space, right? In case you want to make a sentence, but you can do whatever you want. You could even do this character, for example. So I'll show you that. And so the next thing you want to provide is going to be all the strings that you want to add together, okay? So I'm going to do that. So I'll say I like bears, okay? So what this is going to do is concatenate all 3 of these strings here, but separate them each by this delimiter here, okay? So we'll print out the value of that operation, and we'll see what we get. And then we see that we get I like bears, and they're separated each by that delimiter that we chose, okay? So that's pretty cool. And that's also our last thing that we're going to be going over, so hopefully you like that. So it concatenates strings with a given delimiter, okay? So those are the different, string methods, but don't be fooled. There's way more string methods that I haven't gone over, but I pretty much just showed you all the main important ones, okay? If you're interested in all the different string methods, you can go ahead and research them online. They're not hard to find. But yeah, these are all the main ones, like I said, so make sure you keep up with these by looking in the description. There's a link there where you can find all of the code from today's episode, so pretty much everything I coded here today will be in the description with an example, with all these examples and some explanation, so make sure you check it out, bookmark it for future reference and all that. And yeah, so if you have any questions, you can ask a question in the comment section. I'll be glad to help you. Or we have a Discord link in the description also, so make sure you join our Discord, hang out with us, anything you want to do, ask questions. But yeah, so if you like this video, leave a like. If you want to see more, subscribe, and peace.